Okay, in today's lesson, we're going to be looking at translating points and figures. The objectives are to understand translation, to use translation rules, and to determine a translation rule. First thing, vocabulary. Transformation. Changing a figure or graph. Any type of change. Moving it left, moving it right, moving it up, moving it down, stretching it, making it wider, or stretching it up and down, making it taller. We could also flip forward, backwards, and 180 degrees, 270 degrees. Basically any change that we do to a figure or a graph mathematically. Translation. This is a type of transformation that we're going to be focusing on. It is involving moving the figure or graph up or down, left or right. So in this lesson, we're only focusing on the up, down, left and right movements. Image. An image is the graph or figure that is made when we transform. So when we do a transformation, what we get as an end result is called an image. First, we'll look at the basics of a translation. So here we have an original point right here at 1, -2. Our new point that we're going to create, I want to move left 3 and up 4. So we want to go left 3, so that would be 1, 2, 3. So we're going to move 1, 2, 3 there. And then we want to go up 4. So we're going to go up 1, up 2, up 3, and up 4. And here is our image, or our new point. And this point ends up, our new point ends up being at, it looks like, -2. So we got a -2 for our x, 1, 2, and our y goes 2. And if you see, we moved up 4, which in reality is just adding 4 to our y value. -2 plus 4 is 2. And we went left 3, which is really just subtracting 3 from our x value. 1 minus 3 gives us the -2. So using this basic right here, we're going to now look at what we can do with that idea. The first thing that we want to look at is how to read and use a rule. Here I have a triangle drawn on the graph, and our original points are -4, 1, -3, 4, and -2, 2. The rules will be written something like this. We will have our original x, y. It's just standing for the original x and the original y. And then we have an arrow saying this is what we're going to do mathematically to get our image. So in this one we're saying x plus 5 and then just y. So we're actually going to keep the y the same. If we have math done to the y, that would move it up and down. If we have math done to the x, that would move it left and right. So here, all we really do is we can either step it out like we did last time, or since we have the ordered pairs, we can do this math to them, get our image ordered pairs, and then graph them. Sometimes that's a little bit faster. So I'm going to do this rule to these. So I have x plus 5. So I'm going to take -4 plus 5. So -4 plus 5. That is going to give me a positive 1. So my image is going to have a first x value of 1, And the y value says keep it exactly the same, so this one's going to be at 1, 1. So I can put a point right here at 1, 1. Okay? Then I'm going to do the same math to my second and my third points. So I've got negative 3 plus 5. This is my x value. That's going to give me 2. And then my y value is going to stay the same, 4. So now I've got 2, 4. 2 up to 4. And my last one is negative 2. I'm going to add 5 to it. This is going to give me 3. And my y is going to stay the same, 3, 2. And for my image, I'm going to use a dash line. So here is my original. And here's my image. Notice the triangles look pretty much exactly the same, just in a different location. And that's the idea with translation. We move something from one spot to another. We don't change anything except its location. It's basically like in moving, when you would take a chair and move it from one location in a room to another. It doesn't change the chair, it just changes the location of the chair. So that's actually using a rule. Notice we did the math. We could do math to a y value also. Just depends on what the rule says to do. The last thing that we could have is we could have a original, this solid one, and the image already drawn for us. And so what we have to do is we have to figure out the rule that was used to create this image. So what I have here is I have the original points, 1, negative 1, 2, 1, 4, 1, 4, negative 2, and our image points, negative 1, negative 4, 0, negative 2, 2, negative 2, 2, negative 5. And then I've already started the rule, and we have to figure out what math gets done to the x and the y to create this. So we want to go from 1 to negative 1, from 2 to 0. So what we can do is we can just kind of plot this out. And so we're going from here to there. So we're going to go 1, 2. Looks like we went right 2 spots. And 1, 2, 3. It looks like we went down 3 spots. So what we're seeing, or not right 2, we went left 2. And it looks like we went down 3. Well, that was for one point. Let's see if it works again for a second point. So we're going to go 1, 2, and 1, 2, 3. So here it works for a second point. So then we could go through a third or a fourth point to check all of them. But it looks like these ideas work. So now let's put this into math. What causes our x to go left? Well, left in math typically means subtraction. So we're going to take the x minus 2. Then we should always check to make sure we're right. So we've got 1 minus 2 gives us negative 1. 2 minus 2 gives us 0. 4 minus 2 gives us 2. And 4 minus 2 gives us 2. So it looks like that one works. Then we're going to use down 3. Well, down in math also typically means subtraction. So in this case, we're going to go y minus 3. And we're going to check that again. Negative 1 minus 3 gives us negative 4. That works. 1 minus 3 gives us negative 2. That one works. And so on. So this is the basics of how we use a translation rule or create a translation rule. If there's any part of this video that you didn't understand or you need to kind of see again, please pause, rewind, and watch again. Thank you.